From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome to BBN Tonight. I'm Keith Farmer.
And I'm Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, more plot twists for the UK football team ahead of their final game of this wild season.
Yeah, we'll also preview tonight's Champions Classic between Kentucky and Kansas. We'll spend most of this show talking about that game between UK and Kansas, but we begin with some interesting developments for the UK football team, and that's tonight's Big Blue story presented by Baptist Health. Defensive back Kelvin Joseph dropped a bit of a bombshell last night by saying he'll opt out of the rest of the season to focus on the NFL draft. Boss Man Fat, as he's called, led Kentucky with 4 interceptions this year. Coach Mark Stoops explained the departure on his radio show last night.
He didn't really want to opt out, but he didn't want to play this week. So I was like, well, didn't want to risk injury. Didn't want to risk injury, and I said that's understandable. I said, but that's not how we're going to do it. Like I can't just have him out there standing around saying I'm not playing in this game. That's not a good sign. That's not the way we're going to do it here at Kentucky. So I basically said, why don't you just use this time and opt out and go get ready.
Joseph's Instagram post said, in part, I want to thank LSU for bringing me into the brotherhood and the Kentucky Wildcat coaches, teammates, and community for accepting me and allowing me to showcase my ability. I know it was a short stay, but it's Big Blue Nation all day. Mary Jo, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall for that one, and a one and done in football. How about that?
Well, wasn't it just yesterday that Mark Stoops said, hey, we've not had a single guy opt out this year.
Yeah.
So this had to come as a surprise to him as well. But I'm glad he said, listen, we're not just going to decide if I'm going to play or not play, whatever.
You're in or out.
Yeah, you're in or you're out. Meanwhile, Stoops says he's not sure if Kentucky would accept a bowl bid if they're offered one. The head coach says it's been a long, emotional season with Chris Oates' illness, the loss of John Schlarman to cancer, and COVID-19 constantly interfering with games and practices.
These players have been here busting their tail since June, and haven't really seen the family. Can't go out, can't go do anything. I mean, fortunately for us, we're able to wrap up our season, now. But, then you got to bring them back. I mean, I have no idea. I'm just not prepared to answer. I have no idea. I mean, I want to go, but I think, I hope our players do, and I want to see what it looks like. And
meanwhile, Stoops also mentioned yesterday that more than 24 people are missing from the football program because of COVID-19 issues. And Keith, I would say accept the bowl game. That's just me, because these guys have been here since June. That's typically your reward at the end of the year, and it's a different year, but I still think it would be fun.
Looking at the other side of it, though, I mean, you've got a long break possibly before you have that bowl game. These guys have already been cooped up for so long, haven't seen their families. And then also, what's a bowl game going to look like? They get to go have so much fun. I've seen them go out on ships. Last year they went on the NASCAR track. They may not be able to do those things. You just go down and play a game and that's it. So I can kind of understand a little bit of that. Okay, now to Kentucky basketball. The men are back in action at 9:30 tonight to take on Kansas in the Champions Classic in Indianapolis. The Cats enter the game as a slight underdog to the Jayhawks following Sunday's upset by Richmond at Rupp Arena. Mary Jo, this is a chance to go against the Blue Blood, and they're going to be focused for this game, for sure.
I would hope so. Yeah. I would hope so. They should have learned quite a few lessons from that Richmond game. It's a 5-point spread, I think, something like that. Yeah. That's kind of how I see this game shaking down. I think it's going to be close, but Kentucky's going to have to grow up quick to win this one tonight. Now that we have a week of college basketball under our belts, Coach Cal has started his weekly radio show. Here's what he had to say about the team last night after he reviewed the film of that Richmond loss.
We didn't pass it to people. And, we drove in the lane and 3 guys were open. We tried to shoot it. Didn't make them. Tried to shoot it. Why'd you try to shoot it with these guys open? So those are things that we addressed. We showed them 21 turnovers. Basically asked the question, was that necessary? What could you have done different? Why shot selection early in the clock?
Keith, this is exactly what we saw when we watched the game too. It's the total amount of turnovers to no assists.
And the fact that they could make that one extra pass to maybe the person that's wide open for the shot there. All right, Coach Cal and the players have had to adjust, playing in front of a limited audience in Rupp Arena during the pandemic. Here's what Cal and UK freshman Terrence Clark had to say about playing in front of about 3,000 fans instead of the usual 23,000 plus.
The fans here are a big reason that we have the kind of run at home that we've had. Without them, it's going to hurt. But guess what? Everybody has the same issues. The only difference is Rupp Arena is Rupp Arena. And it's one of those things that I said this, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It would affect us more than any other team.
And it starts on the bench. And, I think that's one of the main things that we're going to hit on, too, especially since we don't have any fans at all tomorrow. I mean, just supporting each other and being as loud as we can for each other is definitely going to help us with our momentum if we get into a run, too. So that's probably the main thing.
Yeah, Clark was referring to the fact that there will be no fans present for tonight's game in Indianapolis. Mary Jo, Davion Mintz said it earlier in the season. You have to create your own energy, and you have to have your teammates behind you because, especially tonight, nobody in the stands.
Right, and when they were down and could have maybe made a run, the crowd usually helps get those guys into that, and that didn't happen the other night. Well, the Cats fell a few spots in the latest AP Top 25. Following that upset, Kentucky dropped from number 10 to number 20, landing just one spot behind the Spiders. Tonight's opponent, Kansas, sits in the 7th spot. There you have it.
Coming up next on BBN Tonight, we'll continue to preview tonight's UK basketball game.
Yeah, Eli Gain will bring us more from Coach Cal ahead of the Champions Classic matchup when we return.